Welcome to the November 8th Recreation Commission meeting. We've got 5 members present, so we have a quorum, and we can go through our meeting agenda as we're going. We have 6 members present now, even better as we go. Andy, you just had your annual winter meeting.
Sorry.
You want to start us off?
Yeah, so
Sorry, Dennis.
we had one conflict of requests. We had softball and baseball both looking for Sunday morning. They were both here, which is perfect. They worked out, so the schedule's all set. There's no conflicts.
There's no conflicts. I love that answer. That's the best
So
way
that'll
to
be going
go.
up as soon as basketball practices are all filled. All the other spots will be opened up, and then we'll be working in a couple of other weeknight things, but everything should be pretty smooth.
So 3 programs using it for the winter? Basketball, baseball, softball, that's it?
And pickleball.
Pickleball.
Soccer put in a few requests, didn't they? They didn't email them to you?
I didn't get any requests from softball. I got an email from
softball,
flag
soccer.
football, soccer. Did get an email from lacrosse saying that you weren't
Right.
doing any requests, and I got an email from flag football saying they weren't doing any requests. I didn't
Okay.
hear anything from soccer.
How about baseball field? Oh, do you not want to go with that? I asked
So we
him
ran
to-
into-
you- I figured you could talk, but I was going to start with him.
Ran into a couple of issues. One thing that we stumbled on that we thought was a good thing, we actually wound up having a contractor on site that could handle basically the entire rest of the phase for us and was gung-ho willing to go. But it would be over the amount that we could do without going out for open bid. So that got shut. We went, and Troy Brown had set up a meeting with the Board of Selectmen to see if we could bypass that or get an approval to, because basically the amount that we were going to be spending on what we had proposed was exactly the same. It just happened to be to one vendor instead of to the separate vendors. But it got shot down by it was a matter of procedure for the Board of Selectmen, which they didn't want to make an exception to it because then I'm sure it would open the door for a lot of other things. So that kind of pulled the rug out from under us at that point with that contractor, and he wound up having to take his equipment off. But we've since had a meeting Saturday morning with a couple people at the field, and we think things are moving along. It's not going to be ready for the spring because of the delays with the lack of help getting the trees done, and then the amount of soil that we were able to pull out of there lowered the fields a lot. I mean, we figured we'd get a foot and sometimes up to 18 inches of loam out of where the trees were, and they were able to go down 3, 4 feet, 5 feet in some locations, which is great because we got all that money we set aside to have to buy loam. We're not going to have to buy any loam. Problem was, now we have to build it up. And so the meeting of the mind Saturday was great because now what's happening is all the water construction that's happening, they need a place to dump all the stuff that they're pulling out from underneath the roads, and they've been trucking it God knows where. And we said, well, we can use it. So now they're dumping it all there, and they're going to level that out. So
Nice.
We have about 45 truckloads sitting there right now, big mounds, and so it's pretty neat that they can actually, have a place to go with it, and we can use it. So what the heck,
I stand amazed at how big the right, I guess, facing the road, the right side of it is, how deep it goes. I didn't think the land was that far back.
yeah,
That's going to be a beautiful field.
yeah. So we hemmed and hawed, saying, well, we could probably do this, and we could probably get it done for next. But then we realized, you know what? It's better to really slow it down, do it right, and not have to be dealing with problems down the road. We'd rather make sure that the water, we're going to actually run a drain pipe from the back of the field to the front of the field, so that, and then run it to the, there's going to be, what do you call it, the swale,
Yeah.
but to run it down to the manhole, so that, we won't be dealing with water issues there. And then, I don't know where Skilling's stands with the well.
It's funny you mentioned that. Troy had called me today and asked me, how we're doing with the well, and he asked me about an invoice that we got for $900 from another well company. they had punched 3 holes in the ground, they couldn't find water. They hit ledge at 27 feet and it was all clay. You can't pull water from clay, so now we have to go with an artesian well, which would be Skilling's, and Skilling's reached out to Troy supposedly October 14th, sent them an email, but Troy never got it, so we're doing this again tomorrow, and we're going to try to get everybody together and get Skilling's and Troy Brown on the same page, and we'll try to get them over there to drill a hole for us and get an artesian well in.
We just want to get the well in the ground before, if there is an issue down the road where the state says, hey, this is basically a quarantined area, no more. We want to get in there before that happens, or else we're going to be using Pennachuck water. And
Did the state do any testing there at all? They didn't do any testing at all other than the surface testing, right?
yeah, other than the surface testing, no.
Right, because they don't have a well there.
Right, and it's
So
not
if
going to
we
be
put a
drinking.
well in, they're gonna actually wanna test that water as soon as we put it in, right?
But it isn't a detrimental factor because it's going to be used for irrigation. And they've always stated, and of course Keith should know because you're in the middle of it all, right? They've always stated if you have a well, you can keep it for irrigation. You just can't consume the water. So as it stands right now.
So
Well, some of the paperwork-
The only threat there is that they say that in the future, if they deemed it, for whatever factors came up, if they deemed it a public health hazard, they could force you to shut down.
Yeah.
That if it's closed system for irrigation, it's probably not gonna happen, but, unless,
Yeah.
something very drastic happened with the groundwater.
Yeah, we got the same letter,
Yeah.
right?
I just I put some stakes out on at Corning Field and Jeff Lane for the water lines to be run on the property. So they know, they GPS the coordinates. They know exactly now where they want to run our water line for both fields. It's both neighborhoods. So if it does come down to what you're saying, at least we can, we'll have the water right there. The public water to tap into.
And if we put a snack shack there, we'll have water there for it. The electricity is going forward.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a couple poles there. So it's gonna, because there's no electricity that runs across the field. It stops about 100 feet from the property lines on both ends. We're like at the ends. So they're gonna run a pole, across the street and then down, so it's basically right in the middle of the property, and drop it right there so we can have power there for the irrigation and for anything else. So
Still doing parking across the street, still gonna knock that down?
we're not gonna knock it down. The advice from the people that we met with on Saturday said, oh, no, we'll clear it out a little bit, level it, put a nice little ramp, throw gravel down, we'll be good.
You don't need the fill for the other side? I know there's not that much relative to what you probably need.
No, because we're gonna have more fill than we need
Okay.
at this point. And
The
he's,
balloon that you're taking out of there, is there an excess that can be sold?
We're not sure yet.
right, because
We need to-
we haven't scraped the existing field part, and we're getting the funny feeling that's gonna be some garbage. So-
Yeah. We also did, just as they're moving, there's a clear cut. There's a 4-foot drop off from where the woods was to the old field. And you can see that there's probably about a foot of loam there. So hopefully that keeps going all the way across the field. If we do have access, that'd be awesome. We can, store it at highway or
Or
something.
trade it to one of the contractors for.
Yeah,
I did have a contractor approach me about buying some loam, but they offered such a low price, it wasn't even worth going on it.
So with the new information coming in, as far as getting the soil and lifting it, have you changed the elevation? Or are you
No.
gonna still stay road level?
it's gonna be, the back of the property is basically gonna stay the height that it is. It's gonna get leveled off a little bit more. It's gonna have an 18-inch pitch going, because right now it has, what, a 3.5-foot pitch?
Yeah.
So it's like running
It's
up a
steep,
hill.
Right.
So we're gonna make it an 18-inch pitch, and then once we get past the 200 feet where the fence would be, it's gonna drop at a much better, probably go 10 feet past that. Then it's gonna go down at a good pitch so that the water will run off into a swale and then down to the,
Nice.
so that, some of that existing field will have to be built up as well, so it doesn't drop off as much as it did.
Excellent.
I didn't realize what a steep hill it was until, you kind of knew it walking in, you're like, wow, this is like you're walking uphill, but it's steep.
It's a 4-foot grade change from just within 150 feet from home plate, the old field on the left, from home plate to 150 feet out is a 4-foot difference. Well, it's, 4 feet, home plate's higher.
Yeah.
It's amazing, because you don't really realize it until
Well,
somebody.
you can see it now. I mean,
Yeah.
driving out there
Yeah.
now with it all cut up, it's real easy to see.
Yeah,
All right. Anything else? Do you have something, or just here to enjoy? Excellent, excellent. Who's up next? I don't even know what you guys covered in this meeting.
My only question coming back to town hall schedule is the thing I sent around a couple weeks ago when pickleball was in there, saying they were supposed to be in there. The schedule didn't have them in there, so
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of updating the schedule, making sure the schedule is updated as far as it can be, and then letting them know. I don't know if we have to just let them know once a month, even just to resend it or something to keep it in line. You know what I mean? They weren't. I didn't have anyone in charge there for pickleball, but the person I had there was pretty upset. In terms
Yeah,
of
well, I
because,
I emailed back and forth to Pete and Janet, and, because it was kind of odd because they emailed me right away saying, hey, by the way, we're in here at 8 a.m., I think, on Sundays instead of 9 a.m., and, it got changed on the calendar. Can you make sure it reflects that? So I went in and I changed
Right.
it. But the nights had dropped off completely, and they didn't mention it.
Yeah, let me put it this way: there was some sort of disconnect between whatever schedule they had out there to their people versus what
We need to
had.
review that, because I just ran into it today. We had, just a couple hours ago, Brian Fletcher, I'd emailed everyone on, I don't know, a week or so ago. Brian Fletcher from the Flag Football League was looking to use
Yeah,
Town Hall tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
responded.
yeah, I said, yeah, no problem.
The calendar showed pickleball in
Right.
there until 3 o'clock today. It was open from 3 to 7, and the meeting was scheduled at 7. So I initially contacted him. I said, yes, it looks like it's open on the calendar. Let me check with the rest of the commission, see
Yeah.
if anybody knows of anything else. I think I heard back from Colleen that said she thought it was open. So I then told Brian, yes, they basically just wanted to have a meeting there and hand out uniforms. And I said, I'll meet you there, and I'll go in with you, and we'll do that. He got there, pickleball was there, and they said we have it till 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, we gotta,
And I don't know, I
All
didn't.
right, so I don't know.
I never went there because he said we're just going to hand out the uniforms on the stage, and
oh,
then
okay.
and we're not going to. But they were going to do a couple things on the floor as well, but they just skipped that part.
'Cause I did update it when the thing was,
It's only until, tonight's Tuesday, it's only until 3 p.m.
yeah, so I don't think they ever had Tuesday nights.
Yeah,
I don't know
as I
where
had
that
them on the
came from.
calendar.
I didn't talk to anyone from pickleball, but they were there and they said no, we have it till 9 o'clock.
Were they there? Were they at the meeting here tonight, or did they just send along? We'll take whatever time available again, or
Yeah, I mean, they got I didn't get any response from them about the meeting tonight.
okay.
But what they had prior was Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Well, they're on the calendar now on Tuesdays.
What?
On Tuesdays until 3, right?
Tuesdays.
No, I'm saying Mondays
Oh, you're talking about
for evenings, yeah.
Okay. I don't know, if that, I know sometimes there's adjustments to the schedule, and they just don't make it to the calendar, or if they just had started using that time and took it for granted that it
No,
was there.
anytime they contact me, I try and make sure I update it like right then, so it's accurate. As soon as I found out about the Friday nights things, we took care of that.
So
But it's odd that they think they have it until 9 on a Tuesday, and it's never been, anywhere you look on this calendar, it's never there.
No,
As I said, the lady I was talking to they're like, well, we have a calendar, blah blah blah. So whatever they,
Maybe
I
we
don't
need to
know
see their
if
calendar,
when
right?
I don't know if you need to send out a thing tomorrow saying everything's been updated. Please update your calendars. Please check the calendar. I don't know if we want to send pickleball its own, like, these are the days you have it. Everything else is taken, and say, please update your calendars, because we don't. I mean, the last thing we want is legitimately we're walking in there, and other groups are walking in there, and they are getting upset that they're out of there, and it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, at this point they think they have the run of the place, which,
When we first
should.
opened up
It's
their
still
use, because
follow us.
they originally had their more limited time scheduled, and then they basically came to us and said, hey, you know, we're using this all the time, we've got more interest and more people that want to come in. It's usually during the day when nobody else is using it. And we basically told them, if nobody else is scheduled for it, you're welcome to use that time. And I think maybe they've kind of taken that to, we own this time now, because you know, at least in,
It's either that, they look at the schedule, they go, no one's there, so we can go in there anytime we
Well,
want.
how about, what I'd like to request, and I'll talk to them, is if they have a calendar, and I'll show them if they need it, I'm gonna have them create a Google Calendar similar to what we have for talent, and have them share it with us. And that way, I can put it on, I don't wanna put it on our town site, but basically, it's an easy way to look and reference and say, hold on, you know, you're scheduled.
but we shouldn't adjust our calendar to what theirs shows. They
No,
should
no,
adjust
but I'm
theirs
just
to what
saying,
theirs shows, right? Or it should be a master.
I think what it comes down to is I really do think that they've got to a point where they've looked at the schedule, and if no one's scheduled in there, they're putting it on their calendar as optional time, open time, whatever. Where realistically, yeah, they can use it. They're filled, you know, it's fine if they're using it when it's free, but the thing is they aren't telling anyone else that they're going in there, and that's a problem. So either we say you're restricted to the times we're giving you, or you have to request, even if it's open, if you don't see anything on the calendar and you want to use it, we need the request. You can't just assume that you can show up there and use the facility at the time.
That goes back 10 years ago. That was the same problem.
Yeah.
People jumping in. It's not an unreasonable request.
no. I mean, I mean, what I would say too is though, if somebody from flag football says, I'd like to have it, and it looks free, email me or email Colleen, and let's just get it on there as quick as you can, because I
I mean,
think.
I can add it.
And I
as
should have
well,
just, I didn't even think,
But I did email everybody.
yeah, you did, and I didn't
See,
even
I don't
think.
remember seeing, I don't know.
Yeah, I
if
replied,
completely
and he's
missed it.
right, it was a week ago, but even still, that still doesn't, I'm with what Mike just said. I think they may take a
Oh, no, yeah, I agree
month
with
at
that,
a
but-
time view, right, and they don't realize that, okay, I've updated it a week ago to show that, okay, we are occupying it, or someone's occupying it during this time slot, and I don't think it maybe makes its way to them. So maybe, like I said, have them join our Google Calendar. And then
Well, I
they-
mean, I'd like to see a copy of their Google Calendar simply because what I like to see, like what we're gonna put up for basketball isn't just basketball. It's gonna be, you know, John Doe's 7th grade boys. So we know what's happening
Right.
during that.
Well, why do they actually have their own I mean, shouldn't they just base it off of Town Hall's calendar?
Yeah.
No, because they have
a calendar
specific-
scheduling games and
Okay.
what groups
Yeah,
and whatever,
yeah.
which is fine. What I'm saying is, I think that they should realize that they are restricted to the times that they're assigned on the calendar, and if they want more time, you know, if they look at the calendar and there are 4 Fridays in a row open, they should request those 4 Fridays in a row if it's more time after the fact that they want.
Right.
They shouldn't just assume that it's not on the calendar, therefore we're walking in there and we're using it.
And if something does drop off, and that was the conversation or the email I had with them, is you gotta let us know. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there every week and critique the schedule saying, oh, you know what, looks like something dropped off this week. Let me.
Right, well, you know, he said something like the soccer thing they requested. We approved it on Tuesday. It didn't get onto the calendar by Friday. Now, yeah, could it have? Yeah, but you know something? That's one of those last minute things. The day is open, but should we have to like run around checking because it was blank? They're assuming that it's open.
Well, no, but that was on our error because it dropped off. They had the Fridays,
Okay.
but then it just for some, you know how it happened that one time where
Yeah.
in basketball at the end of the basketball season, all of a sudden everything started just dropping off that
Right.
calendar left and right. So I don't know if it was a setting or something happened in there, but
Well, what's the outcome? I don't know what I heard.
Are you gonna?
I would say
Did we-
contact
well, right now,
Okay.
I mean, right now we're in the season change, so starting next week,
The calendar's gonna be
the
up.
calendar is going to be updated to the what's
Right.
going to happen now, and
I just,
And then
I
Pete
think
will
I'll
send it.
send an email out to them, I'll send it out to all the groups saying open time isn't a free for all, because you're gonna, I think if we, the biggest problem with that is, okay, hey, if there's nobody using it, go ahead and use it. Well, if two groups have that same thought, they both show up to use it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And just say, you know, I mean, hey, you get your time. And in the wintertime, there's not that much free time. There's not gonna be like, oh, look, we have Tuesday
right.
nights are open.
I think
Right.
if there's open time and someone wants to use it, it at least needs to be an email, a text, or a phone call, so that we're aware of it, because nobody else is probably gonna go in there without contacting us as well, so
Right.
then it comes down to that first come, first served, but maybe it's, you know, again, for the winter, it won't be as much of an issue because it's so heavily scheduled, but.
Right, but there are gonna be the one spots open here and there, and that schedule once, I mean, we can go back to that if we wanna do it, is kind of a pain, cause you can only request one specific date at a time, but that was perfect for the one-ups. But it's gonna cost us like $20 a month, which I was trying to avoid. There is a way I can set up appointments on there, actually, that wouldn't be bad. Because of our new status through this town, I can set up those open spots as appointment spots. And we can give the link to just the groups that are allowed. And basically, the only problem is we don't have a lot of control on it. If baseball goes in and says, oh, look, Thursday afternoons from 4 to 5 is open, there's an appointment spot, I'm gonna grab it, they click on it and put themselves down, the calendar switches over and it's theirs. Which is good in a way, because with the schedule once, if softball looks and says, oh, we want the 4 to 5, and they put the request in, and you see it, put it for, if I go like 3 hours later and 4 people have requested it, everybody thinks they have it. Whereas that's immediate. You go, I click on it, it's mine,
It's gone.
boom, the calendar shows it immediately that it's gone.
So Colleen's the quickest one to the trigger for clicking, so she's gonna get all the
I
free
used,
time.
yeah, I used to be, but I don't know. And that's not a problem. It's just and that was just we could do, people could do it one.
Right.
So.
This is a much cleaner
like
way of doing
pickleball,
it.
take
You
and
have to
consume.
have a Gmail account to do it. I'm gonna look and see if maybe there's a way I can restrict which Gmail accounts can do it and just leave it to the groups that we have
You
set
should
up.
be, you should be able to restrict the Gmail account, so it should only be the accounts that you set up
Well, I mean,
and assign.
I think anybody with a Gmail account can do it. I can kick it back out automatically, but I mean, we'll just send the link to those groups and say, this is just for,
One
so-
time,
you know,
yep.
every group that we set up is an LRC dot, baseball, softball, soccer, lacrosse. Just make it easier on us instead of, hey, you didn't react quick enough and who's checking email and who's
Yeah.
doing it. It's gone. It's there. Somebody wants it, take it, it's gone.
Yep.
Pickleball can do it too. Pickleball can go, hey, you know what, that Thursday night's open, we wanna take it, boom, 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 we take those 3 hours, it's gone. And now everybody knows it.
That works.
Alright, so I'll fill those spots with appointment slots once those are open. I'm not gonna do the all-day thing, I'm just gonna do the 5 to 9 PM, anything that's open during those spots, and maybe the weekend hours that are open after we get the schedule set.
Yeah, because pickleball occupies it pretty much 9 to 3 during the day,
Right,
weekdays.
I'll stick with town hall, jump back to you, lock, any information?
That's my question. Yeah.
No, I actually I thought Kevin was here, I saw his truck.
I saw his truck there too. I thought he was going to be here.
Hoping
Yeah.
that he had some information for us, but,
I'd like to get it in this year's budget, I'm not sure what the delay was on that one, him and I talked probably 6 or 8 weeks ago, and I thought he was
Yeah.
going forward with it, so.
he might be running into the same issue. I've contacted 4 different locksmiths to meet me out there, and I've got stood up 4 times. I don't know if anybody just doesn't want to deal with this type of stuff, if it's too big a job or too small a job, or, you know, I don't know, there's not a lot of good commercial locksmiths, I guess, around here or something, I don't know. But I'm thinking of just going online and ordering this stupid thing and putting it in ourselves, and just, but I'd like to put it on the side door, because that keypad is, the alarm, there is an alarm keypad right inside by the bathrooms, correct? There's a second alarm pad.
Yes.
So,
And
I never used that, really?
I don't even
Yeah.
recall ever seeing it, but.
Kevin put it in there
yeah,
when we put the new alarm system in there. He had a second drop put in there. So,
that also eliminates people coming in that front door in the winter with wet feet and
Exactly.
walking.
right, and
across the board.
those double doors, because they're so big,
Mhm.
the more they get used, the worse I mean, I'd just rather have them used minimally and use that side door. And that way it's just boom, boom, they're right in there. They're right on the rug and they're not going on the court.
Yep.
Still open up the back door for main use for those, so that people are changing their shoes up on the stage and doing all that stuff.
Still can't block access to that front door for handicap reasons, though.
No, but I mean, it's just not gonna be a main entry door.
You take the keypad off, no one can get in.
Right.
I mean,
I would say
Need a
just leave,
key,
I would say
guess.
leave the key, leave
Leave
that
it
front
there. Key on the
door
front.
there, just leave it there.
leave it there, okay.
Think you'd be able to get a hold of Kevin and try to push the issue?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the drop-off was in that one.
On the same subject, I guess, or, Kevin had mentioned to me last time I talked to him about, I saw him somewhere, and he had said he was also looking into getting the floor, finished, the talent,
Again?
just getting it, yeah, just coated, they can't sand it
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Right.
It's done, but, I hadn't heard from him since, so I will, when I talk to him about the door lock, I'll find out about that as well.
So I guess the question of that, when's basketball start, full boat?
This week, right?
It's in the calendar, yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna do that, we're gonna lose how many days there?
Is there a time where basketball has, say, if they're not sanding the floor, it shouldn't,
Well, it shouldn't have
I
to
would say
say
during
It should
school
only be a-
vacation,
maybe a
well, you see,
2-day
the
thing.
problem with school vacation, we don't use it that much that week, but because of the new system at LMS and that they shut down, any travel teams that need to practice at talent, because we have no access to the schools over school vacation.
so if you know of a time where there's a two-day stretch, then,
Thanksgiving,
Except now you have fundraiser in there
I
right
was
after
gonna say, you got,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
oh yeah, we'll walk lightly.
I mean, is it, last time I was in there, it wasn't that bad. Is that
no, I
something to
think,
put off
if
till,
it has
after
to
the
wait
season?
till the spring,
Okay.
it waits till the spring,
Yeah.
but it's just something we're looking into. And-
Yeah, I would say do it next fall.
And then we also look at
And
the
just-
the budget issue related to that too.
Yeah, so I think if we do it next fall, we can budget for it and we'll see if the budget's still there for it.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
The, all the light switches for talent are at the double doors. No, I don't know, I mean, you're talking about going
So-
to the side door.
Yeah,
Is there a
doesn't matter.
backlight in there? I've never really.
So
paid much
what I want to do is basically leave them on. Those light switches should never be shut off, because the lights power down automatically if there's no activity. So if you've ever been in there when the lights are off, but the light switches are all on, you walk into a dark thing, you walk in, light pops on. You walk another 15 feet, lights pop on, pop on, pop on. So leave those light switches on all the time, and just, they automatically,
I know.
Yeah.
Almost have to like put a cover over them and say, don't touch.
yeah. But I think but I mean, if they're not leaving through that front door either, they're not gonna shut the lights off.
I think, honestly, I think it's one of those things that no one ever knows that. Like, I remember the first time I was like, you gotta shut the lights, you know, and that was always told to me as I was using it. So if.
We'll just put a
Sign.
sign,
Say,
yeah.
Leave lights on, people leave
Sign,
the
yeah,
lights
put a
on.
sign,
I mean,
yep.
it'd be,
They'll yeah, leave lights on, they auto shut off.
Yeah,
Goes against everything we were
I
trying
know,
to do, you
yeah.
know?
Yep.
Leave them on, no.
Shut off the lights, lock the building. Especially the guys who've been doing it for a long time. I mean, that's always been there. Thanksgiving football game, what's going on?
I was just actually looking, I asked for people to, because Jason and I won't be in town. Jason Allen and I were both out of town that week, for Thanksgiving this year. So I asked for people who are interested. I had 2 responses, one from north side, one from south, who were interested in kind of just coordinating the day up, you know, getting the teams together and all that. Today, I ran into somebody who said the guy who responded to that, who was the south side guy, that he was actually meaning to respond to my,
Yeah, it was weird because
Shoveling.
your message.
That's what I thought you
Yeah,
said.
because your message.
So I thought you were
your
looking
post
for-
said something that wasn't related
So
to the
I
football.
was
I
field.
thought you were looking for a
It was
north side
weird.
shovel or a south side shovel.
Yeah,
Did I put it?
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you
I
said
think I
shovels.
posted both things at the same time. You
So
know,
they got me.
one after the other.
I'm only shoveling the north side of the building, that's.
Well, that's why I was like, oh, we're looking for someone on the south side of town and the north side of town to shovel, because I know we talked about having multiple people. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Your answers were not related to what they were saying.
Yeah.
I have to look at that and I'll have to resend that out.
But I
I mean,
thought
if
the
you're
same
both
thing when
not
I
gonna
read
be
it.
there, I'll be there, but I'd rather have a coordinator for both sides, and I
so,
can,
so tonight, when I get home, I'm setting up the sign up geniuses
okay.
for people to sign up. Shirts, I have some shirts for the north side shirts. Whatever I have is there. You know, we're not going to order any new ones this year probably, but if
So
someone
it's
wants
last
to buy
year's
one,
There's no special PFOA shirts for the north side?
Nope, no. The shirts are always the same. They don't have a year on them. They're all the same.
They're nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, black.
There
Yeah,
you
I got one. They're nice.
go. So I know I have some. I just don't know how many.
Oh, that's nice.
And it, you know, I don't know about, you know, Jason, if he wants to do anything with that. But, so, the coordinating ahead of time, Jason and I will take care of.
Okay.
Just the day of, you know, getting the teams organized, starting the game, getting the refs, you know, squared away. That type
Is he
of
still
stuff.
gonna ref?
I don't know. I'll have Jason talk to him.
I don't remember his name, sorry.
Yeah, I'll find out. He coordinated that last year.
As long as it's still heading in that direction. It was a great turnout last year. I'd love
Yeah.
to see it come out in the same place. Money-wise, you guys went and did coffee and stuff last year.
Yeah.
What range did you spend? I don't remember.
Probably like $50.
Okay.
But I guess, well,
Were you doing it to just give it to people, or were you doing it to fundraise?
no, just to have
Free.
it.
Yes.
But there
It
was
was
hot,
free.
hot chocolate and coffee there, and it just made it,
Kids.
it made it
were the
social,
best.
made it fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm gonna do this. I'll motion to approve up to $100 for refreshments for the turkey bowl.
I'll second.
any discussion? Got a motion, and a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
600, sounds good. We'll see how the
Now,
weather goes. See if we
It's
have a
just
foot of
staying
snow.
it's just gonna stay at Darrow, right? There used to be discussion
Yeah.
about going back and forth, back
With
and
the
forth.
pavilion, it's just so-
Yeah, it's just easier. Yep.
Well, then you'll segue into my next question. How the field's looking?
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Good,
great.
real good.
Really
Fantastic.
good.
Best they've looked in, probably in, well,
4 years,
since
4
he
years,
stopped doing them.
Yeah, they look
Green.
really good. Like Dara, even Dara, when I went down to Dara at the end of August, because I was trying to figure out should we let the schools play or whatever. It was thin. It was green again. It was sparse though. But
Oh, end of August.
by
yeah.
the end of middle of October, a lot of that grass had come back even. So it wasn't quite it wasn't really even sparse anymore. It was back.
That's what he kept saying. It's there. The roots are there.
Yeah.
So
You're strong.
you know what I mean, all the fields look really good.
Yeah, Sawmill
So.
looks,
Oh yeah, Sawmill's tremendous right
Yeah.
now. There's one. I mean, I talked to him at one point, and he filled in some of the spots, but there's like one spot that I don't know if he just missed it or if he didn't realize he needed to do it. But that's the only spot on the field right now that looks bad. But
Has the systems been blown? The
Yes.
irrigations?
Yeah.
They have?
Yeah.
Okay. I figured you guys would know that. You guys have been chasing the fields all the time.
actually I saw him in Market Basket,
Okay.
20-minute conversation in Market Basket.
I still don't know who he is.
Really?
I've never met him. I actually walked up to a guy who works for him one day and said, "Hi, Brian Bean." So we've only had phone conversations. One of these days I'll actually meet my best friend there. All right. Who's got something else?
So the snow removal at Town Hall, obviously that's an issue, and I'll
Well, is that just something we have to post? I mean, can we just
I-
post
I-
that somewhere?
Keith already did.
Well, you posted. You got two responses: north side and south side.
Can't we make it a senior project, for goodness sakes, and just
shoveling. Yeah. So I'll figure that out, but I think we have a couple of volunteers evidently.
I like that, a senior or sophomore project.
yeah. You're the head snow removal expert.
I'm assuming you're Peter?
That's Peter.
Peter Ames, did you guys before I came in, did you guys have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see the email from Peter?
Nice, no.
So Peter sent an email to Keith inquiring about,
Oh, okay, a couple weeks ago.
Requisitions.
I had posted on Litchfield WhatsApp that
Right.
we had open positions.
so Peter, Keith said come and sit in, watch some of the, meetings, how entertaining they are.
That's what I came for.
And then if he likes it, then, do you wanna
So
say anything?
I believe, I'm just trying to look back at the email, but I believe I kind of told you kind of the process of come to, you know, a few meetings, whatever, and get an idea. If it's something that you're still interested in, then, you know, then we kind of look at making that recommendation to the selectmen, and then they do the appointment.
Yeah, no, so first of all, I just want to say thank you to you guys, because I've been, you know, lived in town for 10 years, and I've benefited from the work of this committee, so it's been much appreciated for myself and for my family, so I just, you know, that's why I'm interested in giving back and supporting the great work you guys are doing. But certainly, you know, want to make sure it's a good fit, so, yeah, you know, a couple more times and hear more.
More members are better.
Can we,
Because December's coming.
did we
I'll
ever
see you guys
get,
in
Yeah,
January.
yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah, what's your-
Like, what's your, like, did you go to the selectmen? Did
they haven't had a meeting.
Oh, well, then I guess you haven't been sworn in
Yeah,
yet.
they're not gonna, yeah, I mean, you guys want me to go in front of the selectmen next week?
You have to.
You have to.
Well, no, I'm asking you if you want me to.
We want you to.
You already recommended that
Yeah,
you do.
Yes.
we sent an email.
Have we ever gotten a final,
Like, how many
Yeah,
full
we-
and how many alternate? and-
I think the full positions may be full,
Fulls are full, there should be 4 alternates.
yes.
What's Jessie? She's still full or she?
I thought she was an alternate. 'Cause
I thought
the
she was an
only
alternate,
full
too.
we had was Betty's, and I think I took that.
You took it, yep.
And,
we
and
should have
those,
7
What
full.
about Jason?
the 7th full is
Jason?
Yeah,
Jason was a
Jason,
full.
Jason was definitely a full.
I thought John said there were 6 full.
6 full plus John.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what I
And then
remember
4
John
alternates.
saying at one point, yeah.
6 full plus John.
And then 4 alternates.
So
So
we
what
have one
happened-
alternate.
And I
So
think-
who took Jason's, he was a full member.
I think that might have been,
Was it
Colleen
Jess?
was
No, because I was on with,
Colleen was
I
a
was on with
full
Jason.
when she started.
Yeah.
Was it Jess?
Well, Keith would have taken,
Because
Well,
Jess,
Jason left
Jess
before.
came in.
oh yeah,
you were
because
on
Jess came in as a
Jason.
full, but then she switched to part, alternate when you
so
took full, right?
Because you're
I
full.
think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so I think she took Jason's,
Either that or she was always an alternate. and-
No, she was a full.
She was a
But
full,
is Sandra Darling is still an, is she
She's
still an?
she
an
still listed as an alternate, yeah.
But she's also said that if you need the slot, I'll
So
happily
I
step
think, I
aside.
think what happened is I probably took Jason's full spot.
think you did.
And then Jesse
Took
took
Sandra
hers,
Sandra
and she
Darling.
went to an alternate.
Yeah.
And said she'd stay there as an alternate.
Right.
So anyway, what that means is we have
Two alternate.
full members and then we have alternates, right?
So we have two.
The only difference with that is the ability to vote. If all full members are present, I think I had this right, which is almost never
never.
happens. If all
This
full
is like-
members are present, then the alternates can't vote,
Well,
right?
Yeah,
if,
actually,
if we have to abstain from a vote, we can appoint them to,
Okay, so if all full members are voting, then the alternates can't.
but you still have input in the discuss, like, so if there's a motion made and there's discussion, you still participate in the discussion.
it'd be 7 voting members. Alternates would be the last of those 7, and then they would go based on supposedly seniority being appointed going across. Not that we have very many contentious votes.
Right.
Usually we pretty much work it out. We try to figure things out before we get
And
there.
if we have the problem of saying, hey, we have too many voting members here,
I'm a happy camper.
it's a good problem to have.
I don't know if that's ever
I don't think that's ever happened.
There's a lot of meetings that we can't even put a quorum together right now.
The last one, we
Last
stood
2,
outside.
right?
The last one, we stood outside, we didn't have a quorum.
Last 2 meetings, right?
No, 2 ago we had one.
Yeah, we had John Brunel here.
Oh, yeah, Brunel,
Yeah.
okay. But, yeah, we want more people involved. If we have to go to the selectmen and get more alternates, because we get too many people knocking on the door, we can always approach that and see if we go down that path. All right,
Okay, anything else, looking back? at
I
the
don't see
email?
any requests out there. We've missed a few requests, which I feel bad about.
but any requests that people made, they were given, right? There's nothing.
Yes, we just
Right.
didn't
formally
like
do.
the meeting outside, we gave, basketball had one, and there was the conflict with,
Right.
there hasn't been, I don't know, we've missed a couple things, recently.
How was the event at Town Hall the other night?
That's what I was trying to find out. I think it was good. I let, Joe in. I hope their turnout was good.
It was
Did you
less
go?
than expected. I did not go.
You did not
I-
go? Oh,
I
it was
talked
less
to
than,
a couple of-
less
it
than
was
expected?
Less than expected. Less than an ideal number, let's put it that way.
Oh, that's a shame.
So.
That's.
Well, I hope the comedy night was much better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Couple weeks, 2 weeks?
Yeah, the Saturday night after
Saturday
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
2 weeks from Saturday.
26th, remember that? November 26th.
I'm working that
Sure,
day,
you
believe
don't
it
get
or
it
not.
on the mom's page. That's
Imagine,
the largest source of advertisement in
That
the
Friday,
town
too.
at this moment.
Or What's Up
So
Litchfield,
let's show
right?
what's up.
What's,
Okay.
yeah,
That one's big, but no, there's
Sleep.
nothing bigger than the mom's page.
I'll have Jason Brennan put it on the mom's page.
there you go.
Yeah, we're trying to get Jason, he still hasn't committed to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think, well, he's not sure if he's gonna, if they're gonna be away. He's a little shy.
Yeah.
Anything else? A motion to adjourn?
Maybe,
Oh,
we
no,
can't,
we'll
we
make the
can't,
motion adjourn.
this is
Okay.
just, this is not even, just has to do with our Google stuff, Andy. I'm just confused about how much, we have a Google email now, and I'm still using my LRC.
We should be using the one the town set up for us. That's actually, even though it says at litchfieldrec.gov.
Yeah.
Or litchfieldrec.com,
Right.
that's a Google email.
All right, so
So
that's,
the one that goes to all of us is still the email.
well, the RC is still, the RC, the alias.
RC should be, the alias should be going to all of our town, the town, emails, town email accounts. We shouldn't, like, all the stuff that we've set up on our own, we should just get rid of.
Okay.
And that way everything's on the town.
Because when I log into my,
The original LRC ones, you mean?
Yeah,
the
those should
ones we get
disappear.
individually.
right, which that's my
I don't
LRC email,
really
I
use
think.
that. But I haven't really accessed.
So yours
the
should be
Google.
jbryant@litchfieldrec.com. That's the one that you should be using.
Oh, I'm not using that.
I'm not using that. So you have to show me how to get into that. I get messages all.
sent
I get
you an
messages
email.
all the
He
time. I
sent
know,
you
but I
an email.
couldn't
'Cause-
figure it out.
Well,
Do-
John Bryant, John,
Do you still use
Brunel
LRC
should
Buxton?
have, I think,
Like I
sent you the
still,
information
yeah.
on how to set that
But
up.
my email account
I'm
is
trying to figure it out.
LRC Gamache.
Because by doing that, there's a lot of stuff that we can set up that only people from that domain, from the litchfield.com, it can use. Or even though we're litchfieldrec.com, we're part of the Litchfield, whatever the town group is. We're a subset of them. So we can create documents and things that everybody can view, so public can view, but only people with internal access can edit. Because that way we don't want people just changing things on us, but, so we, that's when I set up like the minutes,
Right, and I
all
know
that
the-
stuff. So it's easy enough to just do that, and so that until we get a minute taker, if Sandy wants to be in the conversation and I say, okay, I'll type this part, we can all have that document out in front of us and add whatever we need to in that piece, and then prove that it's the minutes. And that way you can sort of free up and get into the conversation, and somebody else can sort of take
The
that.
Google stuff is great, I just don't think we're using it as a board the way we should be.
Right.
I mean, maybe, Andy, literally, maybe you have to give a tutorial to
I'm
to
thinking the same thing.
group and say,
Do
this is
lessons.
where, I mean, I see your docs out there, and but what you're talking about, minutes and all that stuff, maybe we need to just have a half hour during our meeting, just a little session to go over where we're supposed to be going,
If you
what
wanna do
we're
that for
supposed
next
to be
meeting,
editing.
yeah, we can do that for the next meeting.
Because I know you use it in schools all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
you're well ahead of the curve on this stuff.
I want in on that meeting too.
Yeah,
He-
'cause
he-
it's all-
He asked me this, he sends me stuff, so you can edit this.
I'm getting all these things about your Google alert, someone's breaking in, and I'm like, okay, this isn't even me, it's
really?
football. I'm like, why is it football? I'm like, why am I getting alert for
These were the
football?
master account.
Yeah, they keep,
We're the recovery account for all those
Okay.
email addresses.
so if they change their password or whatever, we just
Yeah,
get a
we get
notification.
Oh, okay, all
Delete,
right.
delete.
Oh, that's why I get those
Because
all
what,
the time.
the
Yeah, 'cause
reason,
I'm
the
seeing it
reason
like-
we set us up as the recovery account is if let's say the president of basketball just up and quits and says, I'm not giving anybody my password, we'll go, well, too bad, we can go in there and reset it and give it to the next
So what
president of
is the
basketball.
recovery account?
We are.
The RC at
RC.
Litchfield,
Yes, okay.
yeah,
So that's why we get those emails
Yes.
regularly when new people are coming on board.
right. It's
I
just
get
more
it.
of a background, so that we just don't want these accounts to go dormant and then, oh, nobody has access to it, so now we have to create another
Sounds
account
good.
for them, and so that way that account stays forever.
Nice.
And we don't have to worry about who we may emailing, just the same emails.
So
all
first
the
thing on
time.
the agenda next time will be Google.
Well, we'll do people first.
People first, all
People
right, people
first. Always
first, and then
people
we'll do,
first.
Um,
We get visitors.
So just going back, I just went and looked at the posts I had for the turkey bowl and the snow removal. And yeah, I mixed those two up. So the two that responded were looking to help out with the snow
Cool.
issue. So we had 2 people, which I think is probably good.
North side and south side. You weren't discriminating.
So you know what, we
One
got,
thing aside.
so what we can do is have them show up at Jeff Lane, and we have all these piles of fill and dirt, and say, okay, let's see you shovel away.
So, well, I think that having both of them would be good because it.
No, I think we talked about
We did talk about,
But I
in
just don't
case
know how to
someone's,
coordinate that.
Yeah.
If I should just put them, okay, you each have cell
Yeah.
phone numbers. You have priority this week, you have priority next week, maybe, but if you can't do it,
No, I think it's basically, I think the way we should handle it is you can, I don't know, we can set up either something through Google or through a group chat or whatever, and just basically say, it's snowing, who's gonna shovel? And first one that says, I'm doing it, you get it. Just, I mean, if you try and coordinate this, and, when's it gonna snow, who's got this, I think it'd just be a free-for-all.
Why don't you
Or not
make
a
it,
free-for-all,
why don't you
but
make it a
just-
team effort? Have them do it together.
But I mean, they can, yeah,
oh, that's true too.
Have
yeah.
them do it together.
I mean, there's 4 doors that have to be.
or they could go down and say, you know what, there's gonna be a long snowstorm, I'll get it at 6 o'clock, you go back at 10 o'clock.
Then work it out, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Okay.
just, we can't let it just say, it needs to get done.
I guess the other side of that is,
That means there's nobody for turkey bowl.
how do we
so-
pay them?
We can put them on, because we can have 10 people hired. We're only allowed,
They have to come in here.
They gotta come and see
Okay.
town hall.
And how much are we paying them?
whatever the,
It's going right to town hall. Troy would give us that. There's gotta be some rules to that here.
yeah. If they're a current employee of the town, they would probably get their current rate.
So that means there's nobody for the turkey bowl. According to
Just
that.
you.
Can we, resend that out and try and
Yeah.
request for 2 coaches as opposed to coordinators? I don't think they have to run the whole thing.
Yeah.
That make more sense? And, have
Yeah,
them get in touch with me and I can try to oversee it.
There's one woman that I've spoken to, she was gonna check with her husband, they're on the south side of town. Their son is involved with, the Litchfield Bears,
Okay.
so he does football, and she was gonna check with them. I haven't seen her, maybe I'll see her this week. Let's see.
Good.
But you'd be the north side?
No, I wanna
We could-
oversee it. If
You
I have
wanna
to, I'll do the
oversee
north
it,
side, but I wanna oversee it. If I can get 2 coaches, that'd be great.
Okay,
Cause then I could ref, if we don't have a ref, I mean, it's nice to be able to step
right,
back,
right.
Okay.
especially with the 2 of them not there. I like the banter that you 2 guys have every year, though. All right, anything else? Motion adjourned,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
6:00. Thank you much for coming.